Hello, I'm Clifton-Brown, Member of Parliament for the Cotswolds, this area. I'm here today as part of a series of visits during the lockdown with Harry Acland of Notgrove Farms to find out how the British countryside is opening up after the long period of lockdown due to the COVID virus. So Harry, tell us, as a result of the government easing the lockdown at the beginning of July, what this meant to enable people to come out into the countryside and participate in your business.
Well, Jeffrey, it's lovely to see you here and thanks for coming along. Absolutely great. It's been wonderful for us. It's meant a real change in our business. On the really positive side, what it has meant, ironically, that we've seen a lot more people who would never normally come on holiday to England and especially to the Cotswolds. We have got 20 million people within a 2-hour drive from here. We are incredibly lucky and we've got to really try to make the best of that. And I have really enjoyed welcoming different people to come and stay in the pods, in the tents and in the barns.
So we saw this morning people of all ages, people with children, smiling, enjoying themselves. Tell us about their experience.
Well, the joy of coming to the countryside like this is you've got space. Wonderful space. The kids can run around. They can enjoy themselves. There's no real restrictions. The countryside is incredibly safe when it comes down to it. We've got alpacas, we've got donkeys, we've got goats, there to be enjoyed. We've got lots of lovely walks around the farm, about 4 miles, they can set off on those. It's just a really relaxed, informal, unspoilt atmosphere. And we've now recruited a new person, Kate, who's joined us, to try to sort of set up some more things so when they come here, we can give them. A falconer's going to come and join us. We've got the electric quad bikes now, all very low impact, bushcraft, etc. But maybe photography, things like that we can take people around, making Christmas decorations. We can do this all naturally with teasels and all sorts of things.
Tell us about your business, about how it was before lockdown and after lockdown. I'm particularly interested to know about the number of people you employ.
What's so exciting about our business, and I'm always so grateful to our holidaymakers, a farm like this, we're 1,500 acres, I'd employ 1 on the farm. I've got 16 on the books now. As I speak to you, I've got 16 on the books. During COVID, I had 5. We've had people who've been made redundant. They've all come back to us, and most of those they all live locally.
Let's be clear about this, redundant from other businesses.
From other businesses, from other businesses.
Without a job, and you've managed to take them on.
And they've come up as we've gone with it. It's extra cleaning work, obviously. So Kate's come on the promotion side. We've got another chap who does electric quad bikes, etc. That's his own business, but we're sort of part of it. We all help work together. And it's just allowed us to really improve our business, to try to look outwards rather than be inwards.
So, Harry, you were a farmer basically before all of this happened. It would have been very easy just to carry on farming. What motivated you to actually want to branch out to giving people this wonderful experience?
We are very lucky. I'm very lucky, privileged to farm, to be honest, and to be able to live in a place like this. It takes an enormous amount of responsibility to look after it. A stone wall is £100 a metre to rebuild when it falls down. Without diversifying, we'd never be able to look after that. Farming simply does not pay for it. The price of wheat has been the same since I went to college 30 plus years ago. So they're basically the same. Yields actually, ironically, have not gone up that much, not on land as we've got. It's the only opportunity is diversify. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's great. It allows us to look after these beautiful buildings around here. We're looking to double the woodland, do a 20-year woodland plan, making wildlife corridors. We absolutely recognise on some marginal land as we've got here that tourism actually is the future, but not big tourism. We're not going to build any more pods or any more tents. It's simply just capitalising on that wonderful countryside as we've got.
So Harry, here we are with a wonderful field surrounded by trees. It looks really attractive. You saw an opportunity. Tell us how it all evolved.
This was a former sports field that was handed back to me. It had been a sports field for about 20 years. It was no longer required by the village. And so we thought, well, how can we make this work again for the village? So we have built 5 safari tents on here. They sleep 6 each. They are dog friendly. It's very secure for families and kids to come. You'll see we've got a football pitch there in the middle. We've got cricket things still in the games room, table football. So although it was purely a sports field, it's still a sports field now for the holiday makers to use. It's a great way of further diversification for the farm.
So Harry, tell us how it got from a tumble-down village hall to this wonderful centre of the village here we are today.
We were faced with a situation where we had two Nissen huts that were stitched together, which had come from the East End of London, and they were put up in 1963, and they were costing so much to maintain. So we went to the planners and we said, well, look, can we rebuild our village hall? But to make it sustainable and more financially stable and a real hub for the village, we needed to have, we've always had a licence, but we wanted to extend it a little bit as well and have a proper bar area, which ties in with the holiday business and the general requirement that we needed in the whole village. So the planners were incredibly supportive of us, and a local architect based in the next door village, Christian, managed to get planning for this amazing structure. It's a SIPS design, very environmentally friendly, made of timber. It's got a sort of tin roof on it, fits in architecturally with the village, incredibly modern, but also really sits well in the village.
So how does this actually tie in with the business? It's busy today, we've got lots of people here, obviously enjoying themselves. Tell us what it means to the business, the other bits of the business.
The really exciting is, number one, the village hall is a charity actually, which is slightly unusual. The lovely thing is that it really does help support the local community. Over COVID, it was absolutely vital. Thanks to the government policy, we were allowed to do takeaways. We've got an off licence, so we could sell alcohol here. We put the tables on the outside so people could come down here, socially distance, and still communicate with each other.
Tell us about the government support and how important it was to you during those dreadful months of lockdown.
The rates rebate, whatever it was called, can't quite remember, was incredible. It just came through just like that. And that immediately gave Darren, who runs the hub for us, the ability to keep going. And he, rather than just looking and think, oh, how am I going to survive? Immediately he managed to look forward. For the holiday business, the VAT has been incredible. The reduction of the holiday, we are over a certain size, so we have to pay 20% of VAT. That saving in VAT has gone straight to employing 2 extra cleaning staff. It's vitally important.
So Harry, here we are. Tell us about these barns. What were they formerly?
The history of the farm, we used to have a dairy of 100, we used to have 400 bulls and 1,200 sheep. Going back a few years, we had BSE, obviously that was the end of the bull enterprise, although bulls don't actually get BSE. Then we had terrible troubles with TB, which is well known. And then you have to make a decision as to what you're going to do. When you lose your cattle enterprise, it's all intertwined with your sheep enterprise, and we have 400 acres of grassland. And it was just simply unviable. Well, this was a tractor shed and this was our cattle sheds, and we had our lambing in those barns as well. Well, we wanted to keep running as a business, and we're a big farm with lots of lovely stone walls, and you have to think of another income stream. So the holiday business was one that we looked at, and we got planning for this for eventually for conversion into holiday accommodation. And they're all interlinking. They sleep 30 in total, but it can be divided into 8, 6, 8 and 8. And it's been a vital part of the farm. Since we've opened up our barns, the local pub that had been closed down for 3 years was also opened up, and it's brought a lot of business back into the local area as a whole, and in particular it's allowed us to invest in the estate, put new footpaths in, and grow the business from there into the pods and tents.
You were talking about a group that had booked for a 90th birthday party. Is this an emerging part of your business, people taking several of these barns to celebrate a family event?
Groups especially is what we, pre-COVID, that's why we had to slightly reinvent our business, albeit we hope temporarily, but we had a lot of groups here. All these have got disabled access. They have a bedroom downstairs with a shower room, with a walk-in shower, wet room, so you can get people who are in a wheelchair can have a shower. Even one lovely family who come back lots of times, they have a special medical bed. It's the only place they can come with their holiday with their child, and they can come here all holiday together.
So Harry, we've been to your luxury safari tents, we've been to the wonderfully welcoming hub, we've been to your environmentally friendly barn conversions, and now we're here at your 4th enterprise, your pods. Tell us about all of that part of your business.
Yeah, these are our little camping pods. In the Cotswolds it can be quite chilly. These are insulated, they're completely self-contained with their own loos and showers and kitchenettes in there. They sleep 4, and you can come out here in whatever weather. And actually I've slept out here below freezing with my dear wife. The rain's been rattling down outside. You're in your own little cosy hobbit house pod, and it's wonderful.
So Harry, these are beautifully landscaped. You've got, how many have you got?
We've got 8 pods in total, which is a lovely number. They seat 4 each, so that's 30 people in total. It's about an acre, the whole size. People often say to me, do you want to have more, Harry? And I say, no, we've got to be careful of the environment. We've got to be careful of the village. Every pod is beautifully landscaped. They've got a certain amount of privacy. We don't need anything else. The whole point of Notgrove and coming to a holiday here is the open space, is not making it crowded.
So in this electronic age, are electronic messages, reviews of your facilities and how they've enjoyed the holiday, is that important? And do you regularly concentrate on that?
Our website is a major part of marketing. Over COVID, we redid our website. Is one of the things that the government funding helped us do. You think, well, how are we going to use this time positively? A website is very much a live animal, if that makes sense. You've got to keep on updating it, changing the pictures. It's all linked to Facebook and to Instagram. And so it's an incredibly important part of our business.
So it's been a wonderful experience to come here and see this emerging business that Harry Acland runs at Notgrove Farms. Different bits of the business, the safari tents, the central hub, the converted barns, and here at the pods. Harry's been thinking about how he can run this business, how he can get more people out here enjoying the pleasure of the countryside, and he's taken advantage of the various government schemes, of the Small Business Grant Scheme, of the VAT reduction, and it's enabled him to develop the business, but above all, as we've heard going round, employ more local people. He now employs 16, which is a lot more than the farm would be employing if it weren't for this new holiday-related business. So all in all, a great success, a great pleasure to be here, a great pleasure to see a business fitting into the countryside, emerging from the lockdown with the people who are coming here in greater numbers to enjoy the countryside.